Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Bonga, was there any Man United fans in here? Man United fans, the door is open, and the Leeds United fans can stay. No, at least I can see that everybody supports Leeds. Brilliant, thanks. That makes it easy for me. Thank you for such a great opportunity. You know, it's not always that we get these opportunities to talk in public. We're always in the field of play, running around chasing some skin that we don't know which cow is it for or from. But from that game of football, I've learned a lot. I've decided to speak today on the topic, giving it you all, because what the game has transformed me into, I've always said that when I finish playing or when I retire, because nowadays you don't have to retire when you're 60 in this game, so you retire when you're lucky, when you're 35, when you're lucky, if you look after yourself. I've always said I would love to give back because there's always those who as well wants to achieve and wants to play football in the highest level. So, what a very interesting topic, ethics in sport, and knowing the lifestyle of the footballers. You know, like every parent, you want your kids to have a great career. You know, and my parents were the same. She wanted me to be a doctor, but I turned into something else. But what does ethics in sport mean? I mean, for some, it's about being drug-free. And others, it's about not cheating. I know in football, you know, there's got the Drogbas, the Messis, you know, when there's a lot of, it's not cheating, you know, it's acting. You know, but for me, it's all those things and more. Giving it your all is what defines being ethical as a sportsman. It's about giving your all as an individual to your community, to your fans. That will always boo you sometimes when you're not having a good game. To your team, and the society at large. What it can mean for society. In a position of high privilege and high profile, like it or not, you know, we come from these communities, small communities. I mean, I come from Soweto, and I got this great opportunity, you know, to play football, not only to play football, but to play for Leeds United. And through that, you become an icon, become a role model, you become an example. But that's what you have to reflect to where you come from. But like it or not, we've got to reflect the standard of our society. I mean, I was lucky enough that I played sport where there's teamwork. I speak to that. What is a team if not a microcosm of a community, of a society that is expectations? If you're a team, if you're in a team, there can be demands. And I was privileged, you know, to be able to be part of that team that at some stage I will have to give back and make sure that what I've achieved at the highest level, what I've learned in those high-profile jobs. I call it a job, which I don't know what kind of job it is, because, you know, it's only a football, it's only a game, but I've enjoyed it. And as well, as an individual, it's arguable you have to look after yourself. You have to police yourself, because if you don't look after yourself in the game, you know, there could be repercussions. If you want to achieve, you've got to live by the values. You've got to live by the standards that you set yourself. And leading, you've got to lead by example. We're all leaders in our different communities. We're all leaders in a different backgrounds, you know, as parents, as community leaders. And everyone needs to be reminded that they have to lead. Just being in that position of a professional or high-profile athlete means you are a leader. You've got to project values that build leadership. I mean, humility and respect teaches us a lot. I mean, if setbacks teach us anything, it should be humility. To be on your toes, to make sure that you're always ready for any situation. Respect the game. I've always said that if you want to be successful, it takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of encouragement, but in order to be successful, you're going to have to be able to respect what you do so that it respects you back. It's not easy. It's tough. But I've played under a lot of coaches. George Graham, Clive Barker. You know, he walks like this because he's got big balls. Not in a bad way. Great man, great coach. And I've learned a lot from all those coaches. Each and every one of them demanded us to be an exemplary, to set an example, to set a standard. Treat people equally as you want to be treated, and be grounded. And one thing that I've done best, I think, is leading by appreciation, because each and every manager I played for, they gave me that respect and integrity. And that's when I played to the best of my ability. Accountability. Everyone has to be accountable. Great teams in all spheres of life, and hence communities and society are formed when people take responsibility for their actions. I mean, in sport, especially as a defender, when the goal is scored, everybody looks at the defense and the goalkeeper. But it's not that. It's teamwork. And if you've managed to cause a penalty, you hand up your hand. You hold up your hand. But for me, if individuals acknowledge mistake they're entitled to celebrate, they're entitled to celebrate success. 1%, your fault is 100% your fault. Yeah? 1% your fault is 100% your fault. And 1% your contribution is 100% a contribution. Because at the end of the day, we score goals, we all win, and we all celebrate. Attitude. I'm looking at the time. 12 minutes, normally, when we used to train, it was very, very tough, very hard. You do 8 laps in 12 minutes, which in the size of an athletic field, which was hard. But attitude is everything. You can't switch it on or off. You have to feel the need to prove yourself. Not then, but every day. You have to take, as South Africans, I think we all know that we all take pride in in the best that we do, in the good things that we do. And that's the attitude that we have. We have to appreciate what we achieve, and we have to take pride in it. Knowing that you represent, because as I played football, I wasn't only representing myself, I was representing my friends, I was representing my family, I wasn't representing my enemies, those who contributed towards my success, which is great. But in conclusion, what I've started with, giving back. For me, giving back is giving your all. The greatest things that I've learned through this game, it's football has introduced me to charity. That is the best thing. And giving back to your club, and giving back to your community, and giving back to the country, that's been always my priority after football. That's why we all have to give back in sport. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We really appreciate it.